Hello, and welcome to the Creatives Garden. I'm Hikari Harpy, and today I thought we'd turn things up to get a little bit more spooky. Check it out. So as you can see, I have fully decked out my residence here in the garden to be a lot more thematic for October. So, yeah. I personally like how it came out. Very decorative, lots of skulls, and I even put on a little witch hat for the occasion. But with that being said, we do have some comic pages to get to, and I do have a not so small amount announcement to make. But that will be for later in the stream. So with that being said, let's move on to the new look of the main camera. As you can see, even the border has been decked out in Halloween-centric decor. Hopefully, not too spooky for you. But speaking of spooky, we are getting very much into the spooky section of the story, in which we are taking a look at Mackenzie's backstory of how she came to be in Sanctus. More or less. Luckily, I do have essentially all the line art completed, at least for this page. As far as I'm aware, I could be wrong eventually. Because sometimes that just happens, you know. You think you're done and then you go back over it and realize, oh, actually, I missed a spot. And hopefully the spooky music in the background is just at the right volume, so that we can enjoy the spooky but chill vibes. And as usual, we do have our little fishing mini game in the corner, because it doesn't love a little mini game, right? Now perhaps I could move the camera just a smidge. Yeah, then that's about right. Pardon me. The changes in the weather might be getting to me, but that's alright. Let's see here. And let's go ahead and do a quick test. Yep, perfect. Huge guppy. Alrighty. Let's see how I want to color this. Probably start with her hair for starters. Okay, just double checking that I still have my protective sheet in the back. So once I'm done coloring this page, I will be skipping a couple of pages in the book itself, just because story-wise, I've had to go back and do some changes so that this section of the backstory actually takes a bit longer than I anticipated. Originally, I was going to have the backstory be revealed piecemeal, but it just wasn't flowing right. Things weren't really, it just wasn't gelling well with the overall flow of the story, so I extended the backstory so that hopefully it adds a bit more context to when we return back to the Snapdragon Club. Also, hopefully I don't go too wild with the white gel pen this time around. I keep looking back at the previous page and being like, did I do too much? I might have gone overboard. Yeah. Hey, Ferox, welcome, welcome. Glad to see you here. I hope you're having a decent morning. And, since you're here, I think now would be a good time to make that announcement that I've been alluding to at the beginning of the stream. So, for those who haven't seen my Ko-fi page, it's linked up here. And usually I do like to advertise that I have some stickers available for sale. However, those stickers, those particular designs are no longer available. And in their place, we have some brand new stickers. Ta-da! Aren't they adorable? And they are, I feel like they're so much bigger than the previous stickers as well. So, you know, you're definitely getting your money's worth with that. Good start. Awesome to hear. But yeah. So we have 5 sticker sets available in the shop right now. The Harpy set, which includes little chibi versions of me up there, including a little board form. So you can get 1 or you can get 2, you can get the whole set. Whatever you feel like. But that's one set that's available. The other set we have is the Hero of Sanctus set, which includes Mackenzie. And Crystal from the Hunter's Tale. We got Scotty Hijack and Oren Kingsley from the grand opening. So these 4 are also a set, though you can also just get 1 of them or any number of them. You can pick your amount, but that's the Hero Sanctus set. And then we have the Fae set, which are a good amount of the notable Fae in Sanctus that we've introduced thus far. Farmhand and Dreamwalker having been introduced in the grand opening, and the Forest Guardian and Dolly having been introduced in the Hunter's Tale. Very adorable. I really love them. They're so cute. Yes, the Borb is canon. Yes, indeed. We also have the Dark set, which would be relevant to you, Bayrox, because not only does it have Alden and the Ruby Merchant, who you'll see soon enough, it also has Falcon and Shade. All in their adorable little forms. Here's a nice look of Shade for you, Ferox. And Falcon, because why not? Really love how these came out. It's so adorable. And then, finally, we have our main boys, the hosts of the Snapdragon Club, who are once again featuring in the Actress's Tale. Akashi, Mac, Piro, and Vakshi. And as you can see, Akashi is huge. As big as my hand. Like, look at that. Huge. But yeah, so those are all available in the Ko-fi shop. And if you do buy it or donate a boba or subscribe on Ko-fi while the stream is up, you do get a little like shout out and stuff. And if you leave a message, I think it gets read out as well, so yeah. Hey Alpha, welcome, welcome. You caught me in the middle of plugging in my new sticker merch. But yeah, hope your day has gone well. But yeah, those are all the stickers. 20 stickers, 20 new stickers in total. So there's a lot. So yeah, that was my big announcement. I have been looking forward to putting those up on the Ko-fi shop for a long time, just because I tried my best to make the designs a lot more cohesive this time, as well as working to make sure that they are awesome quality, because I work with other friends who are better at making stickers than I am, so yeah. But the designs, all traditionally drawn. Speaking of traditionally drawn, actually, I just want to mention, as a small aside, like, here's the original sheet where I drew them, and they're practically the same size as how I drew them. Like, look at that. I could just overlay that on top. You wouldn't know. But yeah, hope the audio levels are Doing all right? That you can hear the chill but spooky music? And if anything's too loud or too quiet, just let me know. But in the meantime, I'll just go ahead and return to coloring. I'm just going to try and pick as much as desaturated colors as I possibly can, just because it is supposed to be a more spooky type ambiance. Oh, was the red gray what I used for the bricks? It probably was. No, it wasn't for the bricks. It was for the grass. Oh, you don't hear the music? Okay, let me try and turn that up for you. How about now? Hikari's so happy. I am! But yes, hopefully you can hear the music now. If not, I can still turn it up. And don't mind my mic volume, that's just me moving around. Music is faint? Well, okay, so I'll go ahead and just up it from 80 to 100%. And hopefully that's better. I mean, I could always put it to 200. That's what I did with my microphone. My microphone is at 300%. Is better? Alright. So long as, like, you can hear the music, but it's not, like, overpowering. That's generally what we're going for. Okay, just need to take a quick look at how I colored the last panels because I never remember how I colored those. Okay, I just went with a complete gray wash on just about everything. That's what I did. Except for a couple places where I put blue, but... Let's start with the trees first. Because the trees have probably the most color in this place. Yeah, at least for these panels. Okay, and then let's grab a couple markers that we need. Don't think I need too many of these, but we'll see. Definitely going to be using this gray a whole lot. Like a whole lot. I... Yeah. making some big decisions here. You sure about this, Bob? Oh. That's fine. Oh, you love the crimson hat? Thank you. Yeah, it's just a little something to fit the spooky vibe, that's all. And I'm also wearing a sort of spooky hoodie. It's got teeth on it. I don't know how visible that is, but it's there. Okay. I guess I should go back and actually change that up. That's the wrong one. Thin nibs are definitely a lifesaver for when I really want to get into the details. Especially great for lettering. There we go. I'm wondering if I should risk making the shadows more dramatic. Because if I do it, I can't go back. You know, I might just leave it for now, and I'll come back to that later once I figured out which color I want to use to attempt dramatic shading for. This was a mistake. This was a big mistake. I'll just leave it like that. That'll work. That's fine. Edgy shadows. Indeed. Okay. I think I can get away with that. I can get away with that. Get away with that, me making edits on photos at work. Yeah. Look, sometimes I just gotta experiment. Otherwise I'll never know if it works. Few inks over here because I have a feeling some of my markers are gonna need it soon. That's too bright. Too bright. That works. Yeah, that could work. That could work actually, yeah. streakiness is back. Small break from the page to refill the marker. Have a protective plastic sheet up here so that even if we do spill, it doesn't get on the page. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a good spooky month. However way you decide to celebrate it. Whether by watching some spooky Let's Plays or some spooky movies or playing spooky games. Or if you're more adventurous, you might go visit like some of those haunts and walkthroughs and mazes. Like the Halloween Horror Nights at the Universal Parks or whatever. Or whatever's local to you. I've only been to a couple myself, but I tend to just watch the videos of other people going through it. It really helps scaredy cats really appreciate the artistry that goes into making the haunts, at least. Because they can get really creative with the costumes or the types of stories they want to tell. Or with the effects and the lighting. Really is a nice way to get a boost of creativity if you're into stuff like that. Borb easily spooked. I mean, listen. I mean, I wouldn't say easily spooked, but yeah, to an extent, I'm not good at being in the front row seat when it comes to scares. And also, I don't think I'm the most, like, exciting when it comes to, like, jump scare reactions. I feel like I'm the type that usually, like, freezes up when it comes to jump scares. Especially if I'm very aware that it's, like, this is a spook place. This is a haunted place. It's their job to scare me, you know. I'll probably like tense and freeze up, but that's about all I do. I'm not a screamer. The scare actors like screamers. Because if you scream, they'll come after you. At least that's what I've heard, anyways. Local board freezes at the side of a still cucumber. Listen, no, not cucumbers, no. Let's see. I probably have filled it more than enough. So I'll leave that be for now. Oh, completely forgot to color the leaves back there. Where's my purple? I just had it. There it is. put this back here. Okay. I think I'm done. Just need to add a couple highlights in the fog. Okay. I think I might be done with this page. I mean, well, could I maybe... Maybe something like that. Maybe something like that. Yeah. I think that could work. I think that gets the point across. Just little bits and bobs here. Yeah, kind of like that. Just a little color variation a little bit. Alright. And I think with that, I can move on to the next page. I just want to say I am very happy that I'm getting to color these pages because they do set the stage for a new area of Sanctus that we get to explore. It is, however, a lot more scratchy and filled with like a lot more lines just because this entire place is like so decrepit and old and not very well taken care of. Oh, that's not the one I want. Which one? That's the cool gray. That's the right gray. Okay. vibe. There we go. I will just say that I am pretty glad that Mackenzie tosses her weapon in this panel, because like I know eventually I have to get better at drawing guns, but it's still one of my weak spots. And I think it's very apparent in the few panels that the gun is there. I give myself a little bit of leeway just because, one, it's a little bit of a fantasy makeshift gun, not of any particular make or model. And secondly, Mackenzie doesn't know how to use a gun. At least not properly. think a good amount of these colors I know by heart by now. It's just a matter of picking one and just going with the flow. It's a little fun doing Mackenzie's hair because I get to do like these little sort of fade-in swooshes when it comes to the brown parts of her hair. If I feel like it. Too small. It's a detail brush. There we go. And about does that. And then it's okay if it gets a little bit of brown there because then it can just look like rust once I get back into coloring it. actually, as a small little bonus fun fact, if you notice the trees in the background, they're actually trees that I've designed earlier in my little book of various flora and fauna that are found in Sanctus. This one is supposed to be the crawling willow. For those watching the VOD, I'm checking to see who notices. And if you're just listening to the VOD, shh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm gonna worry about it. What are you worrying about? Everything's fine. There's nothing to worry about. Everything's fine. Nothing's changed. Everything's the same. Exactly as you thought it was. You're not in the Twilight Zone. Everything is upside down. Nothing is the same. McDonald's chicken nuggets aren't chicken. Well, I thought everybody knew that. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Anyways, I think now is a good time for me to take a break. So, yeah. I'm gonna take a break and I will be right back to finish up more of the comic. Yeah. Okay. See you guys. Ah. Alrighty. Oop. Come on. Oh, I forgot it did that. As soon as I switch scenes, it does all the fishing again. Which, you know, I don't mind. If I get more fishing done, then hey, I get more fishing done. Alrighty. And we are back with more art. I think the page is looking so far so good. Just mostly getting the base layers and stuff. I don't usually focus too much on the details in terms of coloring. Usually I let the line work do that, but if there's details that I can think of at the time, then I'll add them. But otherwise I don't, you know, I don't stress over that too much. Let's see. How many pages left of the backstory do we have? I know we don't have many. Actually, we might just have enough to last us till the end of the month. So, yeah, that'll work out nicely. Just enough spooky pages for the whole of October. Not that there won't be more spooky pages, but you'll see. You'll see. But it does also mean that we are almost at the end of this mixed media pad, which means soon I'll have to start sketching out more pages in the next one. Excuse me. A little bit dusty. They say there's some not old tunes, but old tomes still around here, left over by one of the librarians of the Creator's Garden. Of course, supposedly, they are no longer here. But who knows? Maybe during a spooky season, their spirits will rise. And I'll get to see the fallen once again. But we'll see. I'm using so much of this gray on these panels. Actually, I think I'll use this gray over here. Something a bit lighter. Because it is not not supposed to be nighttime for this. It's just very, very foggy and dreary looking. There's just gonna be a couple places with notable coloring because those are the only places that matter for the purposes of this story. It should be fine. Oops, that's the wrong gray. That's okay. I just need to use the darker one. That one, yes. Oh yeah. Hopefully, everyone in chat and everyone watching the VOD is staying cool or staying warm. It is starting to get cooler. Very slowly, but it is starting to get cooler. Nearly forgot about the welcome mat. I'm thinking I could do maybe a pink or a red to match the door. Or I could do black. I think I'll go black. There you go. Like that. I think at least all the base colors are probably done, except for her eyes. I need to do that. Okay. That about covers it. So now all that's left is the fog. too far because I need to rub the white gel ink before it dries so that I can smear it. Hey, come on out. Welcome, welcome. Spooky month is indeed here. And Delphi, welcome to you too. Love the spooky outfit? Thank you. Nice, nice. Staying clean is nice. But yeah, we're all dressed up for spooky month. Oh, a new Ben 10 comic is out. I have not heard about that. But that's awesome. I mean, I feel like Ben 10 has gotten like so many different reboots that it's a little hard to keep up for me at this rate. Hey, 10 years for Ben 10. But, since we got more people popping in, I guess now will be a good reminder that I do have new stickers available in the Ko-fi shop. The old designs have been retired, and now in their place are 20 new stickers. So just as a recap, here is the dark set. which features Alden, Shade, Falcon, and the Ruby Merchant, who will be featuring in The Actress's Tale. We also have the Fae set with Farmhand, Dreamwalker, the Forest Guardian, and Dolly. All in their very adorable forms. We also have the Heroes of Sanctus set, which features Scotty Hijack, Mackenzie Varence, Oren Kingsley, and Crystal Sect. Again, super adorable. I love them all. They came out so good, and these stickers are like a lot bigger than the previous stickers I had up on the Ko-fi shop prior. Ben 10 franchise has been so dead, yeah. Hope to buy your stickers one day. They would be nice to put on the back of my laptop. Yeah, they're really good quality, but yeah, don't worry about it if you can't afford them right now. But yeah, I hope to have these designs up on the shop for a long time because they are really good, and I am very proud of the designs I did for these. And here's my Harpy set, which features me in all sorts of different outfits. This was like my very first outfit, like the OG red top and purple skirt outfit, my pink dress, and then my current black hoodie outfit. And then also a cute little Borb version. So if you like Borbs, you can get one of those. And then finally, we have the host set, featuring all the hosts of the Snapdragon Club, including your favorite B-boy, Vakshi, and then my favorite boy, Pyro. Although I know at least one other person who is Pyro's #1 fan. We also have Mac here, looking very chill. And then Akasi, his sticker is so huge, look at that. Practically as big as my hand. Like, look at that. So, yeah. These stickers are much bigger, so you know you're getting bang for your buck. Yeah. So, those are all available right now in the Ko-fi shop. But yeah. And you know, if you just want to support the channel in other ways, you know, there's all the usual stuff, the liking, commenting, sharing the VODs, and or the comic dub even, you know. If you like how the Hunter's Tale came out, then feel free to like share the playlist of the comic dub. And of course subscribing. because I am so far away from being eligible for monetization. So, yeah. I think by the time I'm eligible for monetization, I'll probably need like 3,000 subscribers, even though the minimum is like 500. But I don't think that 500 subscribers is enough people to get the amount of watch time needed to be eligible. So I'm guesstimating that I'll probably need 3,000 subscribers to actually be eligible. And I'm thinking that if I reach 3,000 subscribers, then I'll be attempting to do a cosplay of my Harpy form. And you guys will get to see that. So, yeah. For those who wanted a benchmark, that's the benchmark. I'm not sure if there's much else to be done with this page. So here are the panels. Hunter's Tales Goat, thank you. Do hope you eventually reach your goal. Always support your channel any way you can, and I truly appreciate that. I really do. Just honestly, you guys being here is already, it means the world to me, honestly. But yeah, usually I do just 2 pages, but I'm considering doing a 3rd. Or at the very least, getting started on the inking process for the 3rd page. Like, I could do that. What do you guys think? Should we go on for a 3rd page? Alright, I started a poll. I'll let that go on. Yes, ma'am. Anything for the Hikari army. Oh. We don't need to go too far, but any little bit helps. And as usual, with the disclaimer that you don't go overboard, you know? But I appreciate every little bit. Anyways. It seems like it's an overwhelming majority. Not even a majority, it's a unanimous vote. Okay, so the poll doesn't show up in the chat on the screen, but it is a 100% vote with 3 votes for a third page. So you're the only person I really enjoy being with on live because it's calm and soft, not loud and energetic. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, you know, chill streams are just really cool and welcoming for me personally. That's why I also like going to art streams as well. And especially like, you know, with just the right amount of people, you know? Because, you know, when there's too much people, then it's just like the lines of dialogue in the chat go super fast and it's really hard to keep up. Even with like slow mode on, sometimes it can just be too hard to keep up. But when there's just like the right amount of like flow in the chat, then it's like it does feel a lot more like a welcome community than just something that you can't really keep up with. So yeah, I guess I can go ahead and just like do the inking for this because I don't think I'm gonna get to coloring this, but we'll see. Well, first of all, I can go ahead and show off like the sketches so far, because this is all how basically all my pages start off, as just these sketches, and then I just kind of refine the sketches so that I know which lines I want to keep in the final result. But since we're doing inking, I need to go grab some things. Alfie's right? Yeah, they're right. But as usual, if you don't feel like you have like anything to say in chat and you just wanna like say I'm here basically, or just have something to do, that's what the fishing game is here for. Plus it's just like, it's a really cute mini game. Like, you can tell by how Froggy is still in the lead on the leaderboard that I played this game a lot off stream because there is basically an offline mode for this, and that's how I like earn more little gold coins so I can buy items at the shop. But all the gold coins that everybody earns through the fishing helps to like get more items, and then we can try to fill out the little creature compendium to see if we can get all the rare fish in the pond. So the first thing I gotta do is do the outer edges of the panels. Now, the thing about this pen in particular is that it's a roller ball, so it's not really an inking pen. It's just very much a writing pen. But the other thing about this ink is that it dries a lot slower than these like other colored inking pens. So in order to prevent it from smudging, I gotta like wait for it a little bit to dry. I completely misjudged that, but that's okay. But yeah, volume check. Can you guys hear the music all right? Can you hear me all right? I adjusted the volume for the music earlier, so hopefully it's not too quiet. almost done. Just need a couple more lines and the edges should be complete-ish. Alrighty. So that's the edge of the panels complete. Not letting my competitive side get to me. I mean, you could. That's what the leaderboard is there for. Like, to be quite honest, I really wouldn't mind if more people started fishing. So, yeah, but also no pressure if you just don't feel like it. But yeah, glad to hear that the audio's still doing good. Great. Awesome. So at this stage, I'm just gonna work on the lettering really quick. Okay, maybe not so quick because I have to make sure that it's neat and legible. So yeah. But yeah, that's the order I usually go. It's the panels, then the lettering, and then I finally, start color coding with the colored pens. But yeah, definitely trying to up the spooky factor in these next few panels because it is a spooky place. And when I'm trying to do spooky, generally I just try to up the amount of detail because usually, like, if you think of stuff like from Junji Ito, for example, the more nitty-gritty details there are, the more spooky and uncanny it looks. And fair enough. This is very much a chill stream, so you know, I recognize that a lot of people are probably just listening in the background anyways, and that's cool. But yeah. That's... So I might have mentioned in past streams how a lot of my characters are like reused OCs. This famished guy is new, which means that I get to like figure out what his deal is. But as a matter of fact, I might have an old design that I could use for a plot point later, but you will have to wait to find out what that is. I actually forget what his whole outfit looks like, so I'm gonna have to take a quick look at future pages just to make sure. Yeah, okay. So the pant leg on the right stops there. least the parts that I got done so far, I think they're looking pretty decent. I'm always excited to show off like new locales, new places, new characters, just because like it's a lot of like just like grand reveal shots, and it's just, I don't know, it just starts putting everything together that I've like had in my head for so long. It's not like the exact images have been stuck in my head for so long, but the concepts have been stuck in my head for so long, and it is really nice just to finally get them out there in some form or another. And I think it was just really great timing that I decided to work on the actress's tale, because now it's spooky month and I get to work on spooky pages. good enough for that. Love listening into me explain everything. Thank you. Not every day I see someone so passionate about their hobbies, especially art, with AI art on the rise, beginning to ruin the true meaning behind the portrait oneself makes. Yeah, like... Okay, like... I feel like there's definitely, like, more ethical ways to use generative, like, artificial intelligence, but the way it's being utilized currently is definitely not it. And goodness, 1 second. And I really think the biggest issue just stems from the way it was launched to begin with. People got greedy, as people are wont to do. And so I just feel like the people who started with the generative AI that uses everything that's uploaded onto the internet are just hoping to get away with it for as long as they can until the laws catch up. And I think it's because, like, images are so, like, they're not physical objects. It's harder to, like, you know, have checks and balances and protections for those, as one would say, like, you know, if someone stole any physical objects. Then we just get into the whole stuff about trademarks and patents and, you know, intellectual properties, and that's just a whole can of worms that I am not, you know, equipped to really have a meaningful conversation on. But it is because of, like, how easy it is for people to be fooled into thinking something that is, like, AI generated is, like, an art piece made by an actual person that, you know, it is hard for people to say, well, are you real? Are you actually making this art? Are you actually doing this thing? Or are you just another person looking to make a quick buck and gain internet cloud and stuff like that? And I'm just like, well, I figured with these streams, you can see my process, you know, for yourself. That, yeah, this is actually stuff I make. Like, I might not show, like, all the process sometimes just because I don't feel like it's the most, like, riveting thing to watch. Especially when it comes to my sketches. I've done a video on this beforehand as to why I don't usually sketch, like, on camera. Because it my sketching process, my ideating process takes a lot longer because I have to actually, figure out what is the end product going to look like. One can say, "Oh, I want it to look like, Piro wearing a suit," but then it's just like, okay, but what pose is he making, and what facial expression is he making, that sort of thing. And there's so many variations of that I can just be stuck on that phase of the drawing process for a long time. So that's why usually I don't show the whole part of the sketching process. Like, especially for panels, there's a whole bunch of times where it's like I'm having to like erase and redraw because, I have to think like a director. It's like, okay, what does this, camera angle look like? What does this look like? What about over here? What if I have it from this angle or that angle? It's just a lot of stuff you gotta think about when coming up with panels like that. Otherwise, when you put it all together, it just starts to look flat, It doesn't look like as engaging. Did not expect the two googly eyes. Yeah, I just have those lying around. So I just... I don't know. Every now and again, if I just feel like being a little silly, I'll just bring those out. I did not mean to ink that, but that's okay. It'll work out. But yeah, I'm thinking since I might go for more darker lighting in these panels, that just keeping the line art with minimal bright colors is probably the best way to go about it, unless I want it to look like absolutely glowing. I should probably avoid making anything too bright. I guess another fun fact about Mackenzie is that the current outfit that I'm putting her in for her flashback is actually mostly her original outfit from when I first created her to be a Silent Hill original character, a Silent Hill fan character, I should say. Mr. Repairman, welcome, welcome. Glad you can make it. It's been great being with you today, but I must be going to bed now. Alright, you have a good rest. Good night. And thank you for stopping by. But yeah, Mr. Repairman, thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. Also, hope you like the new spooky theming. We're currently doing a surprise third comic inking, I think. I'll probably just stop at the inking and then call it a day, because I already completed 2 pages earlier, which is this page and this page. But I felt like I had enough energy, and we still had like a decent amount of time left over, so thought I'd at least get some inking done on a 3rd page while I'm here. You love the hat? Thank you. Yeah, just a quick little witch hat just to get into the spirit of things. That tilt on the second to last panel looks clean. Yeah, are you talking about my current page, or? Are you talking about this one? Hard for me to figure out head and torso with a pose like that on the current page. Yeah. Like, depending on what sort of framing you're going for, it can be very difficult. Just, foreshortening and perspective in general is just very difficult. And I feel like it's just one of those things you just gotta practice more so you can get a feel for a muscle memory feel for it. tiny platypus. It's so cute. You're barely hanging on to the leaderboard. Grab that. Oh, you got a baby frog. Adorable. But yeah, I hope your own arting adventures have been going well. For those who don't know, he makes a comic called Dungeon Smalls, which is about the tiny adventures in a fantastical land. So, if you like your D&D type adventures but on a smaller scale, give it a shot. It's got action, it's got laughs. Yeah, I just done break because it's been a week. Yeah. And yeah, of course. I mean, it'll be a hot minute before I post the pages of the actress's tale. Oh. But if you have supported me on Ko-fi, you will get a sneak peek of the pages that I have finished as they, are finished on stream. So they'll be like low res pictures because I'm just like taking them with my camera and stuff. But you'll at least get to like see full pictures of them before I officially scan them in. And speaking of my Ko-fi, I know I just plugged these earlier, but since you're here, I got new stickers. So yes, the old design has been officially retired, and these new designs are in. So just to recap, this is the Harpy set. And this is the Heroes of Sanctus set. Includes includes Mackenzie. We got the Faye set, which includes Dolly. That's right, Dolly officially has merch. And then we have the dark set. Including Alden. And the Ruby Merchant, who will be introduced in the Actress's Tale comic not too long from now, actually, so you'll get to see them soon. And then finally, we have the hosts of the Snapdragon Club. And I will say that all these stickers are much bigger than previous stickers. Like look at this. Look at this. Akasi is as big as my hand. Like, look at that. But the others are, like, you know, pretty decent size as well. And they're all available in the Ko-fi shop. Really wonderful quality. I love them all. I'm gonna have to think about placement. Well, no rush. I don't plan on getting rid of these designs anytime soon, so... Like, I love these designs, and I'm glad you love them as well. I feel like their current designs are, like, they're much more cohesive. Like, they all have, you know, similar cute aesthetics going on, so... So yeah. Well, there's no rush. I do very much recommend them if you are able to afford them, of course. Not that they're, you know, pricey or anything. They're the same price as the past stickers. But there's definitely a lot more, and you can pick and choose your favorites. So if you don't like the entire set, you don't have to get the entire set. completely forgot that was how I posed his arm. Alright. I think the inking process might be done. Let me just erase the sketch lines and see where we're at. Oh. Already see a couple places where I missed some lines, but that's okay. I know what I missed. Well, the great thing about this area is that if it's messy, it's alright because it's supposed to look kind of, dilapidated and grimy and not well taken care of, so... So, yeah, here's the line art all done. With that, I think I will call it for today's stream. Striking even in monochrome, thank you. That's the hope. It at least looks interesting. And I didn't finish finding that on the door. Okay, now it's done. Goodness. Alright. So with that being said, thank you very much for joining me on this lovely spooky stream. I'll be keeping this theme basically throughout October. Who knows, maybe even a little bit into November as well. Since technically in November, that is when the Bee Remembrance Day, I believe, takes place. So it's kind of like Bee Folk Dia de los Muertos a bit. So I can probably keep it up till at least some point in November, perhaps. But yes, thank you all very much for joining me. And for those who watched the VOD all the way through, I thank you as well for watching the video. If you like my art and you like my stories, then I hope you take the chance to leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as usual, there's my Ko-fi link if you wish to support me even further than that. But until then, I hope you all have a wonderful spooky weekend, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. Bye! Bye!